This week we're exploring the beautiful coastline of southern Montenegro as we sail from Bar to Budva, taking in the unspoiled beauty of Montenegro's pristine and tranquil coastline. Along the way we hike to the underrated Haj Nehaj Fortress, visit the picturesque Sveti Nedjelja Church, and anchor off the scenic Sveti Stefan. However, before we get to all that, the week starts off very wet and windy, and we remain confined to the Bar Marina. After a few consistent days of storms, things begin to dry out on Wednesday, and we take our opportunity to get going north.
We're finally going to leave the Bar Marina. We've been here for a few days with weather and wind, but we're going to set sail from Bar to Budva.
With the wind set against us, we decide to motor toward our first anchorage. We're excited just to be out of the marina.
We finally left the Bar Marina, so we're sailing now from Bar to Budva. And our first stop is, where are we? Maljevik Bay.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
It's about an hour north of Bar, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Stunning.
Beautiful waters, a mountain in the background, a little beach bar.
There's a hike nearby, which we might check out tomorrow morning. But it looks like it's going to be a lovely place to start our Montenegrin trip.
And it's got quite good protection from the northwest and northeast winds, which along the Montenegrin coastline, it's hard to find somewhere with good protection because it's very exposed.
Although I have read, like everywhere else in Montenegro, that the winds can come off down the mountains at any time and start causing a bit of havoc. So, got to be aware of that. The coastline here is seriously beautiful, and there are barely any other sailors to share it with. It's also very brief, just over 150 nautical miles long. So we plan to take our time along the coastline, exploring every nook and cranny.
Tell us what's happening.
We're going into shore, into this little bay. I thought why were you practicing saying the name of the fortress for so long? You were just going to throw it over.
You didn't bring your sunglasses, huh?
No, I did not. We're going for a little hike to visit the Haj Nehaj Fortress up above the bay. I think it'll be a short hike. Interested to get off the boat and check it out.
And it looks like it's going to be a bit of a scramble. Little narrow path through the trees.
As we get closer to the fortress, we realise it's a much larger, much more impressive structure than we had imagined. It's the kind of place that elsewhere you might expect to pay an entry fee, or at least see other tourists. But we're starting to get the idea that most tourists visit Montenegro to relax at the beachside resorts. Fine by us. Unexpectedly cool, huh?
Yeah, very cool and massive.
And nobody here.
It doesn't look as big from on the walk up, but once you get in, it's huge.
It's Friday morning. It's been a pretty brutal evening. It's just been blowing all night. Montenegro gets these Kabatic winds coming down off the mountains along the coast. They just blow, they just gust really. They're still, and then they gust. But plenty of chain out and we've held really well, but it's just a bit noisy when it goes off. You can't sleep if we didn't take down the hood or the bimini, so we should have got up and taken them down, but instead we just kept waking up during the night.
What are you doing down there?
Cleaning the boat. We've got a big black mark on it from the tyres at the Montenegro port check-in port authority in Bar.
Where's that magic eraser when you need it?
In the afternoon we weigh anchor and head off for Buljarica Beach.
Maljevik Bay, headed north towards Budva.
And tonight we'll stop off in Buljarica Bay, one of the many little beaches along the way. Really beautiful sail past some of Montenegro's coastal mountains, the ones that send down horrific winds at night.
It's an absolutely stunning coastline though. Made it to the Rage Bay.
Yeah, it's lovely, but it's loud, huh?
They're having a techno disco at the beach, and it is party central, from what I can hear.
It's just people sitting on the beach with umbrellas.
How do we know? We don't know.
I don't see anybody.
Someone's fist pumping.
Okay, you can see you, mate. So it's a nice bay. It's loud. We got a bunch of chain out for when the wind comes off that mountain behind us. Later tonight, so hopefully we've got enough.
And there's nobody else here, so we got plenty of
space to swing around.
But it's beautiful. The mountains in Montenegro that go into the coastline are just absolutely stunning.
Huh? Happy to be here. Socially, obviously.
Looks like you can camp here as well. There's some campers out there, so if you're a van lifer, check it out.
It's fairly rolly, huh? You going chunder? As the sun sets, the swell shifts north, but as it does, the wind picks up. Hectically windy out here. Continuing through the night into the morning. Real windy again all night. We dragged maybe 5 meters, which is good. Still real windy this morning. We set sail again, heading north. Where are we heading to this morning?
Stefan. Where are we going?
As we sail around the headland of Buljarica Beach, we can see a tiny chapel built atop a small island. So we put down the anchor to take a closer look. Yet again, we're the only boat around, and it's another example of getting absolute scenes all to ourselves. Soon it's time to hoist the sails and press onward. we decide to make a pit stop for lunch at Uvana Slana Luka. And then we're off again to our final destination. Arrive at Sveti Stefan, most famous for the luxury resort here and the picturesque medieval settlement built upon a tiny peninsula. It's the last day of our journey between Bar and Budva, and after a quick swim and some lunch, we're eager to get underway. The wind's died away today, but with only a few nautical miles between us and Budva, we decide we can afford to sail slowly. Final bit of our trip this week, we're sailing to Budva from, what was the name of that place?
Sveti Stefan.
From Sveti Stefan, which was a super beautiful anchorage with a lovely little medieval town. Closing in on Budva, which looks like it's going to be a lot more built up, a lot more jet skis and just general action in the water. You just saw the local police boat pull up on another jet ski. It's a beautiful afternoon, not much breeze. We're going to head out to this island over my shoulder and then into Budva. So we're going to do a little sailing course this afternoon just because it's so nice out. We should reach Budva about 2. And Kelly agrees with everything I've said except the timing. Kel, what have you thought about the sail up from Bar to Budva?
It's been pretty lovely, perfect sailing conditions, really.
And what about the route itself? Have you enjoyed sailing in Montenegro?
I was surprised. I couldn't remember how stunning it is, but the coastline is spectacular and definitely worth a visit.
We did the Bay of Kotor last year, but we didn't do this part of the coastline between Bar and the Bay of Kotor, so really glad we took the time to do it now. We finally make it to the Dukely Marina behind the Budva Old Town. This particular marina has a reputation for being unwelcoming to sailors, but we were surprised at the lengths they went to avoid helping us. After radioing in several times and receiving no response, we docked ourselves. When we spoke with the marina staff, they told us they hadn't received our radio call, but they had watched us come in. They suggested to us that the radio was broken. Of course, our brand new radio has had nothing wrong with it before or since. Nevertheless, with the boat safely tied up and after a hot shower, we head into the Budva Old Town to explore. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, consider giving us a like and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can join us next week as we push further north to Montenegro's crowning jewel, the mighty Bay of Kotor.